Who can tell me, after watching the lesson 16 video, what we've built on and what we're moving towards this week? What did you notice? How is this week different from what we've been doing? Anyone know? Peyton, what do you think?
A bit more towards decimals. A bit more decimals.
There were decimals in your video?
If I remember right. I don't know.
I don't know. The video should have been talking to you about the problems getting increasingly more difficult. So now, last week, it was a lot of subtraction. Subtraction with really big numbers, a lot of zeros, a lot of trading. This week, we're now combining almost all the things we've done so far. So you're going to be responsible for rounding, adding, and subtracting with just one problem. So you're going to, what's it called? Do you know what that's called whenever there's many things you have to do to just get one answer? You have to do multiple things. Peyton, do you know what that's called? What type of problem that is?
A multi-step problem.
Very good. So luckily, we have been practicing rounding, and we've been adding, and we've been subtracting. So today we're going to put it all together. Any questions before we get started? Now this week, we're going to do a lot of multi-step problems, a lot of rounding, a lot of explaining what we're doing. And then next week, we're taking our test on the whole module. So going the whole way back to reading and writing big numbers, rounding, adding, subtracting. If you haven't stopped it nicely to pick up your new booklets yet, make sure you remind someone at home this week you need to get them, okay? Okay, go ahead and open up your student workbooks to page 79. Page 79. Very top should say estimate first. Give me a thumbs up when you're good to go. When you're ready to start. I see Peyton's ready, Nina's ready, Hunter's ready, Olivia's ready. Sarah, are you ready? What do you need,
I think
Sarah?
it's completely different. I'm on
page
the right page, but
79? In your current workbook? Show me what it looks like. Show me the cover. That's your new book. You need the one we've been working in. It says module 1. You're in module 3. Soren, do you have your book? Sophia, are you ready, honey? Okay. Sarah, did you find the right book? Okay, that's the one that we're going to be moving towards after next week, okay, module 3. It's thicker, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make you guys small so that I can see my book. And then just like always, I look forward to you helping me to solve these problems. So the directions say estimate first and then solve each problem. Model the problem with a tape diagram. Explain if your answer is reasonable. We're going to cross off the modeling today. These are so multi-step. We're just going to focus on answering the question. Number 1, on Monday, a farmer sold 25,196 pounds of potatoes. Sounds like they're getting ready for Thanksgiving. On Tuesday, he sold 18,023 pounds. On Wednesday, he sold some more potatoes. In all, he sold 62,409 pounds of potatoes. Okay, who can tell me what the farmer sold on Monday? Good, unmute yourself. We got a lot of people today, so just unmute yourself and and you guys can just participate whenever you know the answer.
On Monday, he sold 25,196 pounds of potatoes.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. And then also down here, I'm going to write Monday. And then I'm going to write 25,196. What do we know about Tuesday?
he sold 18,023 pounds of potatoes.
Very good. So I'm going to give myself some room. And then right here, I'm going to write Tuesday, 18,023. See, we're practicing reading big numbers still, writing big numbers. What do we know about Wednesday? How many pounds did they sell on Wednesday? Here it says Wednesday he sold some more. Do we know how many were sold on Wednesday? No, we don't. All we know was that it was some more. But we do know how many pounds they sold in all. We have a total. How many pounds were sold in all? Right here we have 62,409 pounds. So we've done some highlighting. We pulled out what we knew, and then we took some notes. Also, we know how many were sold Monday, Tuesday, and our total. I'm just going to put a question mark by Wednesday because Wednesday is missing information right now. However, do you think we have enough information to figure out how many were sold on Wednesday? We can use the total, knowing that this is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We can use the information we know about Monday and Tuesday to take away from our total, and then what would be left would be what was sold on Wednesday. So let's look at letter A. About how many pounds of potatoes did the farmer sell on Wednesday? Estimate by rounding each value to the nearest thousand and then complete. What does this word about mean?
We have to round.
Very good. And what does it mean, Sarah, if we're looking for about? Is that the exact answer or an approximation?
Approximation.
Very good. So we're going to round to what place value?
The thousands.
Because they tell us right here. It tells us actually what to round to. So Soren, help me with Monday. Tell me how to round this 25,196 to the nearest thousand. Find my place.
Okay, so you add 639.
No, we're rounding Monday to the nearest thousand. So which of these digits is the thousands place?
782.
We're on this. Can you see my screen? 25,100.
Oh, 582. 582.
There should be one. I'm only on Monday. There's 2, 5, 1, 9, or 6. Which one's the thousands place?
5.
So I'm going to underline the 5, and then what do I draw an arrow to? Soren, what do I draw an arrow to?
2 to 1.
And what does the 1 tell me to do? Give it a
To
rest
round it
or add?
down.
Okay, so what happens to this number if I'm rounding down?
It stays the same.
Not everything, because then I wouldn't be rounding. The 5 stays the same because it's resting. The 2 stays the same because it's minding its own business, and everything else turns to zeros. So on Monday, I'm going to put my squiggly equal sign because that represents that on Monday, about 25,000 pounds of potatoes were sold. Sophia, how many pounds of potatoes were sold on Tuesday?
18,023.
Okay, how do I round this to the nearest thousand?
Underline the 8. Then put an arrow towards the 0. And since it's a 0, it's going to rest. And so the 8 stays the same because it's resting. The 1 stays the same too. And then everything else turns to zeros.
Very good. So Tuesday, about 18,000 pounds were sold. Hunter, why don't you help me with the total? Help me round 62,409 to the nearest thousand.
So the 2 stays the same because
Okay, so find my place. What do I underline?
the 2
And then I draw an arrow where?
to the 4,
And the 4 is my boss. So what does it tell me to do?
round down to 2, it stays the same. And then the 6 stays the same and the rest turns to zeros.
Very good. So we have the total is about 62,000 pounds of potatoes were sold. So if we know that this is the total for all 3 days, and this is the total for Monday, and this is the total for Tuesday, what could we do to figure out how many were sold on Wednesday? What do you think, Hunter?
Subtract 25,000 and 18,000 from 62,000.
Good. So Hunter, could we add these two together first and then subtract from here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's add 25,000 and 18,000 first. I have lots of zeros. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 5 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I put down my 3, carry my 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3, plus 1 equals 4. So on Monday and Tuesday, we have a total of about 43,000 pounds. Now we're going to take our 62,000 total, and we're going to take away from that Monday and Tuesday's numbers. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 2 minus 3, Hunter, can I do that?
2 minus 3. Wait.
Is that
No.
possible?
No.
So I have to trade. So my 6 becomes a
5, and then the 2 becomes a 12.
and then Hunter, what's 12 minus 3?
9.
And 5 minus 4?
1.
1, 2, 3. I'm going to count 3 over, put my comma. So, Hunter, what's my final answer?
19,000.
You're missing 2 things.
19,000 pounds. Pounds of potatoes.
Okay, pounds of potatoes, but there's one other thing you're missing. Think about if this is an exact answer or a rounded answer.
Oh, about 19.
There you go. So we're going to put that squiggly equal sign. since it's a rounded answer, and go ahead and circle about 19,000 pounds. Okay, so far, do we have any questions? Okay, for letter B, we have to find the precise number of pounds. Olivia, do you know what that word precise means?
It means exactly.
Very good. This means exact. So we should be able to do the exact same thing that we did for letter A, but we can leave one thing out. Does anyone know what we can leave out?
The
We can
rounding?
skip, very good. We can skip the rounding because we don't want an approximation this time. We want a precise answer. So if we want to find the total for Monday and Tuesday, what would we add together? So I'm going to look up here. On Monday, we had 25,196 pounds. And on Tuesday, I have 18,023 pounds. Six plus 3 gives me 9. 9 plus 2 equals 11. So I'm going to put down my 1 and carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 0 stays 2. 5 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to put down my 3, carry my 1. 2 plus 1 equals 4. And I put in my comma. So here you see it's pretty close to our approximation. We have 43,219. Up here we rounded and we got 43,000. So those are pretty close. Now we're going to take our total, which was 62,409, and we're going to take away Monday and Tuesday's pounds. And now we're going to see what is left to have been sold on Wednesday. When I'm subtracting, I always want to make sure my bigger number is on top. 9 minus 9, take all 9 away to give me 0. 0 minus 1, I can't do, so I have to take from my 4, and that becomes a 3. I am under my 10 here. 10 minus 1 is 9. 3 minus 2 equals 1. 2 minus 3, I can't do it, so I have to trade. My 6 becomes a 5, and my 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 3 equals 9. 5 minus 1 equals 4. 19,119 pounds. Do I need to include my, what was I calling that? My curvy equal sign? Should I put that down here? Why not, Sarah?
Because we aren't rounding and it's the exact answer.
Very good. This is not an approximation anymore. It's exact. So for letter C, as you can see, these all go together. They want to know if our precise answer is reasonable. So what was my precise answer?
19,100.
19,000.
And what's my rounded answer?
19,000.
Are they close?
They are.
Very close. They're only off by 190. So is our precise answer reasonable?
Hey, have you noticed a flaw
You found a mistake?
in your answer?
Well, sure. Tell me about it.
Estimate first, then solve each problem. Model the tape diagram with a tape diagram.
Who can tell Soren why we didn't make a mistake? What was my first part of my directions? Does anyone remember?
Cross off, model the problem with the tape diagram.
Look at that, Soren. You must have been sleeping when we started or finishing up your lunch. We We crossed that off for today.
So you're saying that the 3 hours that I spent was literally all for nothing?
No, I'm not saying that. 3 hours you spent what? Making the tape diagram.
Just trying to solve.
Well, we've only been on here for about 20 minutes. You haven't been taking 3 hours.
No,
Your
Well,
estimation of
last
time
week
is very,
I
very
decided.
off. Okay.
On Monday, I decided to
Was
get
our answer,
some of my
was our
week.
answer reasonable? I think he said yes. So we're going to write yes. My answer is reasonable. Because 19,190 is very close to 19,000. Okay, do you have any questions about number 1? Okay, when you're ready, we're going to move on to number 2 on the next page. Here, we're going to talk about gas pumps. A gas station had 2 pumps. Pump A dispensed, that means it gave to a car, or it took it out of the pump, 241,752 gallons. Pump B dispensed 113,916 more gallons than pump A. We have to figure out about how many gallons did both pumps dispense, and we need to estimate by rounding to the nearest 100,000. What do we know about pump A? Anyone?
It dispensed 241,752 gallons.
Thank you. So we know pump A dispensed 241,752 gallons. This time, what place value are we rounding to? Right here.
100,000.
Very good, 100,000. So when I look at this number, I'm going to underline my 100,000s place. See, this is why we spent so much time at the beginning of the year. Focus on place value. It's all being useful. Now we're going to look next door. When the 4 is my boss, what does it tell me to do? Give it a rest or raise the score?
Give it a rest.
So my 2 is resting, and my other numbers turn to zeros. So on pump A, it gave about 200,000 gallons. What do we know about pump B?
It dispensed about 113,916 more gallons than pump A.
Ooh, okay. So pump B didn't give only 113,916. It gave this much more than this. So not only do we have to include this in pump B, what do we have to add to it?
241,752.
Very good. We need to add pump A's amount also. So let's start by rounding this to the nearest 100,000. I underline my first 1 in the 100,000s place, and then I draw my arrow to my neighbor to the right. This 1, when I think of 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, give it a rest. The 1 tells me to rest. So my underlined digit stays the same. It's resting. And the others turn to zeros. Do I need to redraw this and round, or do I know what this number rounds to the nearest 100,000?
You know what it rounds to, which is 200,000,
How did you know that, Nina?
because we already rounded it
Right,
above
we
for
did it right here.
A.
Nina, can you add 100,000 and 200,000 together for us?
100,000 plus 200,000 equals 300,000.
Thank you. So pump A dispensed about 200,000 gallons. Pump B dispensed about 300,000 gallons. The question asks, how many gallons did both pumps dispense? How would we figure out the total amount of gas?
You'd have to add 241,000.
We want to know about, honey, so we want to use the estimated numbers.
Oh, so you
gonna
add 200,000 plus 100,000, which is 300,000.
Well, this is our pump A. How much did pump B dispense?
300,000. So you'd add
Right. So we would
200,000.
add together pump A's amount and pump B's amount to get a total. So all these zeros, 0 plus 0 equals 0, 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 and 2 plus 3 equals 5. I count over. How would I label this 500,000? 500,000 what?
Gallons.
Anything else? Since it's an about
About
answer,
about
Yeah.
500,000 gallons.
you're gonna put that curly or that squiggly equal sign. So about 500,000 gallons of gas. For letter B, here's that word. Now we want to know exactly how many gallons did both pumps dispense. So this time we want to use the exact numbers. If we want to find out how much gas A and B gave together, what would we do with all three of these numbers? We want to find the total. We're going to add them. So we're going to take our pump A's gas, which is 241,752. And then we're going to add to it both of these because this total is what B dispensed. So I'm going to make sure all my numbers are lined up. Olivia, what's 2 plus 6?
2 plus 6 equals 8.
Plus 2 more?
10.
So I'm going to put down my 0, carry the 1. Sarah, what's 1 plus 5?
6.
Plus 1?
7.
Plus 5?
12.
Put down my 2, carry my 1. Hunter, what's 1 plus 7?
8.
Plus 9?
17.
Plus 7?
24. I mean, no. 20. Yeah. What
Yeah,
am
you're
I?
correct.
Yeah, 24.
24. Nina, 2 plus 1?
3,
Plus 3?
6,
Plus 1.
7,
Okay, Peyton, 4 plus 1?
5.
Plus 4?
9.
Is Soren still with us? Okay, Soren, 2 plus 1?
Plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 9.
2 plus 1
Oh, 2 plus 1, that's 3.
plus 2 more?
5.
Okay, Sophia, what do I need to do to make this my final answer?
Put a comma after the 7, and then wait, yeah, and then wait, no, and then to make it your final answer, put gallons.
Yep. Very good. Okay, so now this time we have to assess the reasonableness of our answer. Use your estimate from part A. I see that my estimate's about 500,000 and my actual answer is 597,000. Is our answer reasonable? That one's a tough one because 97,000 is pretty big, isn't it? Why do you think this answer isn't super close to this answer? There is a reason why. What do you think, Hunter?
Because 97,000 is like almost 100,000 more than that.
Do you know why it's not very close? Think about what we rounded to.
Because we
So
round.
Go ahead.
Because we rounded by 100,000, so.
Right, so that gives us a more of a broader range. So if you look, 241,000, that's almost 250,000, but since we rounded to the nearest 100,000, we had to round down. So we lost 41,000 right there. So I feel like letter C is a tricky one here. So what do you guys want to put? Is our answer, I mean, if you think about it, 500,000 is so big, it's not like our estimate was 5 billion and our answer is 597,000. They're at least still in the same hundred thousands. So I think that would probably mean that our answer is reasonable. So we'll put my answer is reasonable. And let's put on there because I rounded to the nearest 100,000. So 597,420 is close to 500,000. Okay, do you have any questions about number 2? When you're ready, I want you to turn to number 4 and I want you to read it and underline what you think is important. What's important information? A class read 3,452 pages the first week and 4,090 more pages in the second week than in the first week. How many pages had they read by the end of the week? Is your answer reasonable? Explain how you know using estimation. For this question, I want you to cross off, is your answer reasonable? Explain how you know using estimation. I just want to solve this one because we're actually going to try something different. Who'd like to tell me what you underlined? What's important here?
I underlined 3,452 pages the first week and 4,090 more pages in the second week than in the first week.
Okay, so we're going to try something. There's a thing that I can do on my Zoom, and I don't know if maybe Mrs. Thomas has done this with you guys. Try to see everyone. Okay, so I'm going to do something called a breakout room. Soren, are you listening? Okay, that means you're going to get put into a room with some other people from our class. I want you guys to solve this. And then I think I can put a certain time limit on there. So you guys are going to talk, just like if we were in school, you're going to talk about it. How would you solve it? Come up with a plan and then solve together. Then we'll come all back together to discuss. Now, if for some reason something doesn't go right and I lose you, just log back onto the Zoom, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go to breakout room and we have 8 people, so we're going to do 3 groups. So there'll be either 2 or 3 of you working together. Got it? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Sarah, Sophia, and Soren are going to be together. Hunter and Olivia, and then Nina and Peyton.
I'm back.
Did everyone make it back? Okay, what was that like? Were you able to work with your partners?
Yes.
I was pretty easily.
Was it fun?
Yes.
Kind of. It was
Isn't
kind
it
of overwhelming.
Isn't it kind of cool that you can like work with someone and like no one else can hear what you're doing and then like we can all come back together? It's almost like being in school. Like I almost wish we could do this in school because it's been hard to work with partners, you know, because we're trying to keep ourselves distanced from one another. And we, especially in math, is a great thing to do because we love hearing what our partner thinks and if you can share different strategies on solving, if you're getting the same answer. So we're going to try to do some stuff more like that. And then it's not so much just sitting and listening to me talk all the time. Okay, who would like to tell me what you and your partner did?
Me and Peyton, we
Okay,
added,
what'd you guys do?
we
So what
added
we-
452
Weston,
to
is
4,000.
it supposed to be
9.
addition or subtraction?
I've seen this, especially when I see this season.
Okay, Nia, you said you took 3,452 and did what?
Then we added 4,090.
Okay.
And then we got 7,542.
Okay, and what did this number tell you?
It told us how many they did in the what they did in the second week,
Okay, so this is our second week.
and then we had to add. Then we added 3,452, and
That was
got
the first week.
10,994 in both the weeks combined, which they
And
read
how-
by
Honey, what was your label?
pages.
Very good. Sophia, what did you and your partner get?
We got 10,994 too.
Who was your partner?
Soren and Sarah.
Okay, and how about Hunter and Olivia? What did you guys get?
I forgot to add the first week to the second week, so we got
Okay,
7,000.
you know what? That's a common mistake because a lot of kids see these two numbers and they just add. That's why you have to pay attention to where it says more than the first week. So there you go. Go ahead and fix your papers. And then I'll take any questions from anyone. Soren, do you have a question?
Was it supposed to be a subtraction?
No. You wanted to figure out how many pages they read by the end of the second week. So you wanted to take your first week, which was 3,452, and add to your second week, which was 7,542 to get your total.
I literally want to snap my pencil in half.
Oh, don't do that. That's not going to be good for anyone. It's okay if you made a mistake. Did your partners help explain to you? Okay, does anyone else have a question?
Everybody was rushing it because you only gave us 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that that was stressful, but that was a good chance for you to work under pressure. That wasn't a very long one since we were only adding 3 numbers. Okay, let's look. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, so you know there's not many questions left. So for your 10 minutes for today, it's only number 3 and 5 left for you to work on. Okay, and then let me check our schedule. Okay, so you're gonna work on those. And then tomorrow, I hope everyone remembered to do their lesson 16 sprint A today. Tomorrow you have sprint B, which was doing those conversions. And then, actually, I'm going to stop sharing so that I can, we're gonna stop recording.